Welcome to Spotlight Gulf Coast, a weekly showcase of people and events across South Mississippi. Spotlight Gulf Coast is partnered with William Carey University and sponsored by the IP Casino Resort and Spa, Mississippi Power Company, Ray Brandt Auto Group, and the Butch Ostelet Foundation.
Hi everyone, this is Todd Trenchard, Executive Director of the Baco Foundation of South Mississippi, welcoming you to another segment of Spotlight Gulf Coast right here on WXXV. Each week we're coming into your living room talking about what's going on all across South Mississippi, and we want to thank our sponsors for this generous opportunity. Of course, today I'm joined by Amanda Ray. Amanda, it's good to be back on TV. It's been a couple weeks since we've done it.
I know.
Exciting things all around.
All kinds of fun things have been happening. So
never a dull moment.
Never.
And our good friend Laura Lacoste. Laura, I think probably the last time I was here, we were doing a show.
Yeah, I think so.
Leading up to Renaissance the
Runway, yes.
And we were also talking, of course, about Butch's Foundation Fund that we're going to talk about in just a minute. But did want to get you come on and talk a little bit about Renaissance because I think it's an important thing. Obviously, it came off tremendously successful, but once people do it, they understand that all that worry, all that, and it becomes something fun.
It's so much fun. And I said I was going to do it one more time, and now I'm like, no, I think I want to do it one more time.
One more time.
Do it a third time.
It can't be your last.
So, and I had to wear my Bay collection jacket that I wore on the runway. I had so many compliments on this, so it's one of my new favorites. So yeah, and I had a lot of, I'm sure you guys got the same thing, a lot of great feedback from that night.
Right.
People that came up to me that said this was my first one to come to. I didn't realize how much fun this was, what a great event it was, and it really was. And of course, thanks to Butch and Ivan Spinner, it got particularly wild around some auction items. So
unbelievable. Won't be topped. You couldn't write that script, although we did put them there strategically so they'd be like right next to each other. And never dreamed it would get to that. Of course, we're talking about the Taylor Swift tickets and it's an all-timer. Now, Amanda, I know you've gotten the same type of feedback as have I. Each year it can't get bigger, it does. Each year it can't get better, it does. And that's the way successful events need to be. You learn from a mistake and you kick it around and
learn and grow.
Yeah, and
the Barbie theme was so much fun.
So much fun.
I did not realize that was going to be that much fun, but
I think it just made the event top notch this year. And I'm already thinking about next year. What can we do to make it bigger, better? How are we going to top that?
I'm
we
still
will. It's
Barbie
gonna be hard,
2.
but you will.
Barbie 2, the sequel.
Maybe so.
Barbie 2.0.
I promise you they'll have a Barbie 2.
They probably will.
The video, well, I can assure you, in Hollywood.
True.
So maybe that's it. Now, part of it that makes it so successful is you get to meet other people. And people that it brings community leaders together that are, they're just taking off their day job. A lot of doctors showing up last second.
Oh yeah, political figures. You've got CEOs, presidents. It's amazing the models that we get in the room together.
And they're so much fun. They kind of get to let their hair down and have fun with it, like Jeremy and England and his wife with the selfie on the stage. And they were just so
Jeremy's a
entertaining.
ham. I mean, ever since I've known him, I mean, I like him more each year. He had asked me a few years ago if he could do this.
Yeah.
And I was like, really?
Yeah.
He really looks forward to it. And I was also noticing this year the couples that were doctors. What do we have? I think we had three doctors that were
couples.
The couples were out there. And of course, Kat, she texts me the next morning. Next year, I'm in.
She's always amazing. She tops it every year.
Right.
She just gets into that model figure, and I mean, she does such a great job.
She did a little
She has fun.
She has a
She
great
made
time.
it very fun.
Yeah, and again, the people that are sitting in the audience, those that know that it took a lot of work. And, I give a shout out to Amanda anytime again.
Oh, thank you.
Amanda, Terry,
learn
just to
from
jam up, and again, I like the role of being back here and just sort of pushing it where I need to instead of
You're the puppet
in
master.
the middle of all that stuff. And it does, and you do a tremendous job of being able to, be able to think like that.
Right.
I've really started calming down, I think, because I know we've got the right people in the right places.
Yeah.
And, I mean, back in the first part of this thing, I said, I'm done. This is the end of my career tonight. And so now it's more of a piece that just get it going. It's going to take care of
noticed that
itself.
difference. The last event we had before that.
The Jolly?
No, what was the one where Kelly did the dance? Or
The
I'm
Jolly?
sorry. Yes, it was a Jolly, the Candyland.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing you, and you just were walking around and just looking at what fires you need to put. I said, you need to just relax and have fun. He was like, I can't.
No.
But
no,
I definitely sensed something different at this last one. You did seem like a little more peaceful.
Well, and I guess because I know she had it, and
She did.
all I got to do is just like I said, you just put out a couple fires instead of major forest fires.
Right.
Now, talking about Bay Collection, shout out obviously to
Yes.
the boutiques
Yes.
for stepping up. I guess everybody gets to go in and have a little bit of say so of what they're going to wear. Or
Yeah.
is that
Well,
what you
at least I've dressed for Bay Collection both years now, so I only can speak to that. But yeah, they're very open to come in and see what you like, and then if you need help,
Right.
and you want them to kind of help with the accessories or different things, they'll jump in however much you want them to.
They want you to feel beautiful when you're out on stage. They want to pick something that's going to highlight something new in the store, but that also you would feel comfortable in.
Yeah. Well,
So-
I went in and I saw this and I was like, mine. It's like, I want this jacket. And so they just kind of helped me with the rest.
Well, I think the other thing that's so unique about this, and it's unique to the coast, is what a geographical reach.
Right.
You got boutiques on one end of the coast with boutiques on this end. You got models on this end,
Yeah.
That doesn't happen
No.
Right.
without, being out there like we've been for 20-something years. Being out there, there's not many organizations that can pull that off, just to know who they are and bring them all together.
Right.
So real pleased with something, and seeing that. Now, we're going to go to a short commercial break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about a little bit about your board member at PACO, but we also have the Butch Ocelot Foundation Fund that you're now the executive director. And, I think we have a great plan of action that we're going to unveil. But, I mean, I'm one of those that, hey, let's do it. And you're like, well, let's.
I like to plan and strategize and, make sure I have all the ducks in a row before I roll something out. But, I like your style too. It kind of works.
Yeah, it has to be a little bit of both. And,
Yeah.
and again, you need to know your limitations, because if you're too successful, you just created yourself a lot more work.
Right, right.
One of the many hats
How
that
you
you wear
gonna handle
already.
it?
If I could
And,
just have more hours in a day, that's my greatest limitation right now. Is I just wish there was more time
well,
for all the
just-
things I want to do.
that's why I wake up at 4 instead of 5. And I got that extra hour, so you ought to try it. Your body eventually adapts to that
Right.
4 o'clock hour. But and I know that as we go forward, you'll find the person like an Amanda
Yes.
that you find, or a Terry. You start trusting. And
I
you
would really
can-
like to poach Amanda, but I wouldn't do that. I don't know that we could anyway, but
Would you
wouldn't
call
do
that poach?
Poach. Like, steal her.
Well, that's probably not going to happen. But, anyway, we're going to take a short commercial break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about the Butch Ocelot Foundation Fund and a little bit about what it's like to be a board member, because I know this is all new with Lighthouse. And, I remember a year ago, I don't know what I'm going to do. And look, now you're starting to be a major part of what's going on in the community. So we're going to take a short commercial break. Don't touch that remote. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. We're joined by Amanda Ray and Paul Lacoste. And ladies, we're talking about Renaissance Runway, and we're talking about boards, and we're talking about, community outreach and how you bring the coast together. And it's a good starting point. I think when I first met you, you were coming on the Lighthouse board.
I remember being nervous when they asked me to join the board. I was excited though, because like I said, I was already involved, so it sort of made sense. And then when you asked me a few months later to join the PACO board, I thought, there's no way. There's just not enough hours in the day. But you were encouraging, and I'm glad I did, because love all of the things that it's gotten me involved in and the work around the community, and it just sort of seems to keep growing, and it ended up with me now as the executive director of Butch Osterlitz's Foundation, which
Right.
is another position that I love. So,
But it also, in your line of work, has greatly increased your business by getting to know people. And I've seen that since I've always said that the more you're involved in the community, the more the community is involved with you. And
right.
at first
That
it
is
seems
true.
overwhelming. It's actually becomes one and the same.
Yes.
And it becomes, when you're out,
Yeah.
at these events, I mean, just by word of mouth.
Well, I've become as busy as that as I have with real estate, which real estate keeps me very, very busy too, and of course my children. But when I love all of it. I love real estate. I love the board work. I love this working with Butch and all the things that we're doing there. So I just, like I said, I need more hours in the day.
Right.
And then of course today I'm going to sell you a house.
That's it. That's
Could
it.
be.
Positive. Now, Amanda,
So it all ties in.
Yes.
I know y'all have a lot of similarities, having children, and again, there are only so many
boys.
hours in a day. But if you like what you're doing,
Right.
I mean,
It's
it
worth
makes it. Now, just think if either one of y'all were coming to a job where you didn't like what
Exactly.
you're doing, then it would,
Yeah.
go home. But you do,
Yeah.
you have the passion for the community, the BACO, and you have the, passion, obviously, for real estate.
Yeah.
And once you do that, you look forward to it. I
Right.
mean, it's not a challenge anymore. It's,
Right. And I think as moms, it's a good thing that our boys, she's got 2 boys, I have 2 boys, to see their moms that are hardworking and involved. And, we have to strike a balance.
Right.
Because our job as mom is still, number one. And that's that we have to be there as that. But they need to see that the sun doesn't rise and set and they're not the center of the universe. My hope is that when my boys get older, that they will be involved in their communities and that they will, help in the ways that they're gifted to help others.
Now, we're entering a time right now, in the fall where, a lot of people are taking off, like the holidays are already starting. Actually, our holidays never start. It's almost like it's. I've always said that the Christmas time is generally my busiest time because there's a lot more need around Thanksgiving, and a lot more people will come forward and be asking, for help and things like that. And even if it's just pointing somebody in a direction, you don't have to know everything or be a solve-all for everything.
Right.
As long as you can tell somebody where to go, that's and I've learned to do that. I've learned to
That's
be able
good.
to know what the limitations are.
That's good.
But I think that this new exciting venture that you're coming on with, Butch, of course, Butch just retiring and wanting to use that, I guess, name and that legacy of his. But I think it's also important that we stress the point that, at some point, monies have to come in to
Right.
that. And that's when I started, the BACO Foundation, the same thing. They were just giving out money. And I said, well, why don't we do a little golf tournament? And that little golf tournament became millions and millions and millions. And again, we're in that phase. Let's
We need it to
maybe
be
talk about that.
something that can be sustained. And I think that's something that's really important to Butch. He doesn't want this to be a one and done. He wants this to be something that carries on. And he has a legacy within his own family of giving. It's something that was modeled to him by his parents. And he's always done a lot of giving back. He's been with the BACO for a long time. And when he retired, he really just wanted that to be his primary focus. And you kind of have to put the reins on Butch a little bit too, because he would give it all away,
Right.
and he needs to be able to take care of himself and continue forward. And for this really to grow and be self-sustaining, we're going to have to bring in some sponsors, and we're going to have some great events. We've already, been brainstorming about some things we're going to do that are going to be really fun. To help bring in money to compound the giving so we can give in a big way.
Right.
And to entities that are well vetted. Of course, the Dyslexia School, we've already done plenty of things for the Dyslexia School. We all know that's a great cause. The Mississippi Advocacy Centers for Children is another really great cause that we're working with them. Continued work with the Home of Grace. And I've, of course, been contacted by so many other really great causes that we're going to sit down, we're going to meet on a monthly basis and kind of go through who can we help right now. So anybody that we bring on board with us as sponsors or donors, I mean, like our website will be set up where you can go donate to a few different causes that we're really trying to shine a light on, where need is great.
Right.
And these are well vetted, where this money is going to all go, they're going to the people who need it. And, there's a lot of, I think sometimes people are fearful, is this money when I give to this GoFundMe or this or that, is it really going there? Is this legitimate? So, we kind of want to take some of the work out of that and find local causes that are, really important, that are important to the people around the coast, and be a place where they can come and join with us and compound the giving opportunities.
Well, I can't think of a better person to help do that. And like I said, you're going to be surprised looking back at how many plates you'll be able to spend. You said, I was spending all like that. Oh, no. You still got another couple hands and feet. So,
I somehow believe you, because honestly didn't think when I took on Baker I would ever take on this much.
Well, and that's what our minds tell us.
Right.
That's all we can take on.
Right.
But there is another whole level. And when it starts all working together,
right?
Like I said, you go out to eat at Phoenicia, you're at Phoenicia, and you're building a relationship with Sam, but you're also meeting somebody and eating. I mean, it all works together, and and when there's adversity, you just keep plugging on.
Right.
And I've been through a few of those and been at this quite a while, and I would have never imagined anything that I would, 21 years later, still be, on TV or doing a foundation. I thought I would have been, by this time, certainly on a throne somewhere. But, all right, we're going to take another short commercial break. I do want to come back. Let's talk a little bit more about the website, about some of the marketing things, because I think it's important that you plant the seed that others can do this. This is not something unique to us. Right. Anybody can do this.
Well, we didn't invent it.
That's right. We're going to take a short commercial break. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone, and we're talking about, giving. We're talking about planting the seed and seeing, where it grows. So you can't really think that you're doing all this and it doesn't have any meaning. It has a lot of meaning, because there's not many people that take this chance of throwing their name out there. I'm sort of surprised a little bit that, more people haven't come up to try to duplicate what we've been doing.
Yeah.
Because people are like, oh, that takes a, no, how'd you do it? I don't know. You just
come
up with an idea.
Yeah, and it can be done, but it does take a lot. But I think it's so in your wheelhouse of who you are. A lot of what you do probably doesn't feel like work to you. So I don't think you even realize how much.
Well, I think geographically, it's very important that the monies you raise stay in that geographical region.
Right.
I mean, it's hard to raise money one side of the coast and then send it back over on the other side of the coast. So that's where, it's ideal for the Gulfport market that we're in to have something that's Gulfport exclusive. Not exclusive, but specific. Butch is one of those, though, that his tentacles are going to reach out, in a lot of different areas, but obviously Gulfport,
Right.
And then you have the same thing in Ocean Springs. I mean, it's about who you know.
Right.
Most people are going to give because who they know.
Yeah.
Because they trust that person.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
So I think that, I've seen over the last couple of years the strength of this Ocean Springs market.
Right.
I mean, this thing's, I could go live over there.
Ocean Springs is
this
amazing.
one to,
I'm biased because that's my hometown. I grew up in Ocean Springs, but I just can't say enough good things about Ocean Springs and the people. And it's definitely grown a lot since it's different than when I grew up. And mostly I love all that's going on there. I know some people are opposed to the growth and it scares them a little bit, but I really feel like it's unavoidable. Everywhere is growing. We have more people, and honestly, we have sort of an influx of people coming to the coast because they've discovered this really great place to come that doesn't cost ridiculous amounts, like in West Coast or other areas that people can't afford to live near a coast. But here you have, and really the whole Gulf Coast, these sweet towns with great school systems that people just didn't really know existed in Mississippi, and definitely the secret is out in a big way. I've sold a lot of houses in the last couple of years to people who just heard about it or saw us in Southern Living. You know, Roxy, a lot of her developments are in the magazines and stuff, that she's gotten a lot of awards for the things that she's done in Ocean Springs. So a lot of those things are drawing people in. And you can't be mad at them for it.
Right.
You know, we all want a better life for our families and for our kids. So.
Yeah, I think that also that I want to plant the idea in people's minds that, yes, cash is important, or a check or something like that, but so are in-kind services.
Right.
So are, you know, partnering. And I want to bring up Sam again at Phoenicia. I've used Sam forever and ever, you know, to bring people there. It helps his business, but it also helps me as a, so he's always been somebody like that. Michael trades out, you know, magazine space with places, so it saves him on food costs.
Right.
And you have to start thinking
time is
how
money
we
too,
can work together.
Right. It takes a village, and all of the efforts of people's time and the different talents that they have, like your ability to put together an event. You know, she knows who to call, who needs to be there, where, how it needs to be laid out. Like, that's such a gift that not everybody has.
No.
So it takes all of that. Like you said, not just a check. It really, it takes so much more.
Well, this
than that.
TV show.
Yeah.
Great example of, you know, me knowing the Bobby Edwards for years and having this, and then Don coming on, and us having this set here. I mean, this is pretty unique.
Yeah.
You know, I have a weekly show that airs all across South Mississippi, and but it doesn't just happen overnight either.
Right.
You know, you have to go out there and be thinking that way, and that's what I'm looking forward to, those strategy sessions that we do come up with, you know, both those that can give, but then also those in kind. Don't miss that.
Right.
Because that's so important in your growth. Our in kind is astronomical on what I have donated to these things, you know, to, you know, save on cost.
Yeah.
So, you know, the future looks better because it should get better each year. And then, you know, if you lose a sponsor, there's always, and you don't ever want to pressure anybody.
Yeah. Right.
They probably have their reason for not wanting to a certain year, and you respect that. And be surprised. A lot of them will come back and wonder why you didn't.
Yeah.
Right.
So, again, I know that we'll be trying to meet like every Wednesday, and eventually looking at maybe, you know, some kind of advisory board we were talking about.
Correct. Yeah. So with the Butch Ocelot Foundation, we will soon be reaching out. We've kind of gotten our legs under us a little bit, and the website is established, butchocelot.org. And we have an office now. We have a phone number, you know, all the things that you need.
The little things.
We have our logo. All the little things are in place. And really, we were already doing some really big things before that was in place. You know, some really big things to the Lighthouse School that we've sponsored, some classrooms and things that Butch, you know, that have always kind of been on his heart with the Home of Grace and different entities that he's helped. The first like official thing I did was go and visit this little girl named Scarlett, precious little girl who has Down syndrome, cancer, and has had heart surgery. So Butch made a donation to that family that just meant the world to them. Like they have a GoFundMe, and that's something I'll put on our Facebook page and on our website. So we were already taking advantage of his name. Like Butch has a lot of name recognition. He was on the news, you know, after 54 years retiring from the car sales industry. So we, you know, capitalized on that and went ahead and put it out there that we had this foundation before it was really built. But we're here now. We've had several meetings. We'll be reaching out for some inaugural sponsors that we're calling them legacy donors that will come on board, just a small group. And then we'll start rolling out a couple of really fun events throughout the year. We're going to do a black tie, which actually I wanted to do something a little more fun because Butch has a little bit of a wild side, you know, with his the way he dresses. I'm like, it can't just be a black tie. It needs to be. I said, well, Butch, what about a crazy tie? He said, it's already been done. I said, okay, well, we'll think of something else. But we'll have a gala there. We really want to honor someone from the community each year at this event for their philanthropy and giving, and like you said, not just money but time and different talents. And then we are kicking around either doing like a tailgate or a Kentucky Derby party. So all that's in the works. We're gonna have some fun stuff. Yeah,
we are in.
We'll be there.
It's
yay!
secret vote. We're in. Ladies, I appreciate y'all taking the time today, and you know, again, feel free to use this show anytime because that's what it's set up for. and want to tell everybody out there that's what the show is for.
Right.
Come on their show, promote your cause, promote your ideas, and we'll have a much better coast. So, again, appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Both of y'all. And we appreciate everybody's support of the Baco Foundation of South Mississippi. Until next time, this is Todd Pritchard and Amanda Ray saying so long and be out.